I'm Josh Smith over at Delphian Trading. I'm a trading strategist there. This video is going to cover state modeling, our proprietary buy-sell signal. State modeling is designed to identify whether a stock is bullish or bearish. So the system that we use for that is based on discrete mathematics called finite state machine. Basically, this takes in a lot of different inputs and boils it down to one number. And that number, which is between 1 and 8, indicates whether it's bullish or bearish. As you can see from the graphic on the right, all the even number or red numbers are bearish, and the green and odd numbers are bullish. So 1 is our most bullish state, and 8 is our most bearish state. So once we classify these stocks as either bullish or bearish, we're telling you that it's either going to go up or down. We also project how high it's going to go and the time frame that it will take to get there. So this will give you a good indication of probabilities of how high it's going, how long it'll take. Pretty much all you need for trading. So you can think of state modeling like a traffic light, whereas a traffic light has 3 states, red, yellow, and green. It can only be in one of those at a certain point in time. State modeling only has 2 states, red or green, and it can only be in one state at any particular time. So once certain conditions are met, for a light, it could be someone pushed a crosswalk or timing. It'll change from one to the other. Same goes with state modeling. Once certain proprietary conditions are met, it'll transition from state 2 to a state 1 or state 2 to a state 4. So each individual state has its own characteristics. Typically, the biggest moves up and the longest moves up are in state 1, and the biggest moves down and the longest moves down are in state 8. Here's a breakdown of each state, the trend, and the price behavior. So you can see state 1 is extremely bullish. It's going to be, the price peak eventually, and the end of the current bullish run. Typically, after state 1, it'll transition to state 2, which is a pullback or the start of a downtrend. So what you can see is that it'll go from 1 to 2 and then go back into 1, then to 2, and eventually 4, and then 6 or 8. And the reverse is true. On the bottom, if it's in state 8, that's going to be the eventual end of the downward movement. Then you'll get a pullback. They go back into 8 again, and then 7, and then start the uptrend. This is just a visualization of state modeling. So you get to state 1, the price peak, and then the pullback, confirmation of the downtrend, and then the downtrend and the end of it. So then you run back up. So what we'll do is go into the system and show you a few examples. We do have a state modeling guide. If you click the help button, go down to the bottom. It's located down here. You can click on this. It's a PDF, 21 pages, and goes into a little more detail than what we're doing in the video. It's also available if you're a non-member on our website for a free download by clicking here. So if we want to look at an example, let's go back in time. by clicking this button. So if we go back to February 2nd, you can see that the market overview was overall bullish. So if we look at the Russell, and we can click, by clicking the symbol, it'll bring up all these options. That's one way to get to the state modeling. And the other way is just to go into stocks, state modeling in the menu. So we'll just go here, Russell, state modeling. It'll open up a new window. So we can see for the Russell, it's already met its target. The entry date is located over here, so 11/20/2017, November 20th, and that was at a price of 1503. It's currently been in state one for 51 days. On average, it's there 37. Current move is 2.92, and the average is 5.96. Up to the top right, we have whether the target's been met or the stop loss has been met. It'll be highlighted here. Then we have the current range of movement since November 20th, while it's been in state one. So you can see it got as high as 16.15.52, as low as 14.98.78. In the chart here, it has the start of state one, that transition day on November 20th, and it tracks the price movement all along until it does eventually transitions out of state one. When we do enter state one, we give you price targets. So target 1, 2, 3. We call this a conservative, a moderate, and an aggressive target. So you can see that it did hit the target 3 and slightly eclipsed it by about $9. Also in the bottom right, we have next state projection. So that gives you probabilities based off historical data where it will transition to next from state one. So you can see it's 98.25%. It's going to go into state two, which is defined as a pullback. These targets projections do not change. So if we go back to 11/20/2017, you can see that the 16:06/23, everything else is the same. We had a current days 1. So this is the beginning of the movement, and these stay consistent throughout, and we just track how it does along the way. If we go back to February 3rd, we can see that it tracks all along the price movement, and it's still in state one. Typically, we tell you what the average move is. It's 5.96, and you can see that's between target 2 and 3. So on average, every time it's gone into state one, that's your average move. If it does hit target 3, we typically see it turn around and come back into state 2. So if we go forward today, on the 5th, we can see that it transitioned to state 2 on the 5th. On that day, we give you the projections. On average, it'll be in there 9 days. An average move at 2.35%. We give you the targets, the target 1, 2, and 3. Those are also graphically represented by the green. So we're saying it's bearish, so a profit would be if it goes down. And we have our stop losses also. The next state projections. So once it goes into state 2, there's a 63.33% probability that'll go back into state 1, 35% chance it'll go into state 4, and then Other states are 1.67%. So if we skip forward a little over a week, we can see that it did go down. It's been in 9 days. It's gone down about 3%, a little above average. It's hit all of our targets and appears to be running back up. So once that target is hit, we're looking for where it's going next. So based off of the probabilities, we would say it's headed back to state 1. Now the other parts of the state modeling page, the state distribution, this indicates how many days it's spent in each state since 1/3/2007. So the Russell 2000 is very bullish. It's spent 2,088 days in state 1 and only 631 in state 8. We also give you the range of prices that it's exhibited since 2007 in each state. So this is the bullish states 1, 3, 5, and 7, and the range of prices in 2, 4, 6, and 8. Next, we provide the average moves for the Russell 2000 index in each bullish state. So state 1 on average is 5.96% up. State 2, state 3, would be about 2%. And you can see the other bullish states. It also gives the average move on the bearish states. We also provide average trading days for each state. So the bullish ones are listed on the left, and the bearish ones are listed on the right. On the bottom, we just provide you a open, high, low, close chart of all the different transitions. So you can track, with a quick eye whether this thing's been accurate or not for the Russell. And you can alter the chart and go back manually and slide it, contract it, or you can just say all. Go back to the top. There's different tabs. So if you have a stock list that you created, or you want to use one of the predefined ones, you can select those. So I'll do Spider ETFs. So this will bring up, XLB, which is the materials ETF, has a drop down for all the other ones included in the stock list. So you can page through them or select them individually here. The same goes for your watch list. This is something that you created manually. And like the stock list, it has a drop down where you can select different symbols or you can arrow through them. The last tab is today's transitions. So you can select for only state 1 transitions. With state 1 being our most bullish state, you can see, this one's for Aaron's. It's the first of 41. On average, it's going to be in there 33 days and move about 11% as the targets and stop losses. So in this menu, you can scroll down through and select any ones that you want, or you can arrow through it. And every stock has its own specific ranges, average moves, trading days. And you can always go back in time and look at different dates for these symbols. You go back to 2007, 2008, and select the day, and it will bring up the characteristics on that day. That was an overview of state modeling. Please refer to the help guide available on in the help section or on our website. If you have questions, please send them to sales@delphiantrading.com or contact the number listed below.